Hi everyone, I'm here to go over more of the details of assignment 3, which you should be starting to work on soon. So the whole point of this assignment is for the class to research all the various chronic and degenerative diseases that exist and how they're linked to nutrition. So you will be utilizing your understanding of all the 6 categories of nutrients that we have explored so far. And we've also started exploring the idea of maintaining health and preventing disease, so that will really be exercised in this assignment. So basically, here's the steps of what you're going to have to do. First of all, you'll have to choose a disease that you're interested in researching. Now, there are some diseases that cannot be done. It has to be a chronic or degenerative disease, one that's non-communicable, so not an infectious disease per se. So there are lots of ideas of this that you can find by searching the internet, but also I've started a sort of like a list, a sign-up sheet for you to explore what diseases are available for you to do. So that link has been provided to you, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. So you'll be choosing a disease, and just as a side note, there's about 40 of you in the class, and there's only, I don't know, probably less than 20 diseases in general that are available to be done. So to make sure that no more than 3 students focus on the same disease, that's what the purpose of the sign-up sheet is for. So you'll notice that there are 3 columns, and as you sign up for the diseases, those columns will be taken up, and once all 3 columns have been filled up for a disease, then nobody else can do that disease for their report. Anyways, once you get through the first step of choosing your disease, then the next thing you'll want to do is start your research. So the things that you're going to want to include in your assignment are listed on the instructions here. So first of all, some guiding questions for you. You have to give an overall sort of overview of the disease. This is also known as the pathophysiology. So really, what is the disease, and describe how it affects the body. In that, you can also include the signs and symptoms of that disease. The next thing is discussing what the role of nutrition is in this disease. So in some way, nutrition should be linked to this disease, whether it be a direct sort of cause, whether it be that there's certain nutrients that have been discovered to help to prevent or to treat the disease, or just in general, it can be an indirect link as well. So it may not be like conclusive evidence that nutrition or that nutrient prevents the disease or treats it, but just that there is some evidence that that nutrient can either contribute to or worsen the disease, or on the other side, help to improve the person's health and lead to better management of the disease. Okay, so just in some way, you need to show the connection between nutrition and the disease. The third main area is then focus on the treatment and prevention of the disease. So this is where you can list standard medical treatment for the disease, and talk about then, on the other hand, what are any dietary or lifestyle treatments that may be different from the standard treatment. So if this is the case, make sure you mention specific macro or micronutrient recommendations. So that's your macronutrients like your proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and so on. Or if it's the micro, that's talking about the vitamins and the minerals. And then finally, if you can find any research that does support preventative nutrition for this disease, that should be included in this section. So before I jump down to the rubric, another component to this assignment is, so you're not only going to be gathering the research and presenting it in whatever way you want, because again, this assignment does have options for you to choose from. You can, of course, stick to the normal research report, the written format, which in that case, you'd be aiming for 3 to 4 pages, 12-point Times New Roman, double-spaced, and so on formatting. But you can also use other alternative formats if that's more accessible to you, or if that would make it more enjoyable to you. So you could do an audio visual presentation, or just format it in any way that, you know, becomes more exciting for you. So if you're unsure, if you have an idea but you're unsure if it will work, you can of course contact me just to go over that and clarify with me. But again, just that's open to you to be creative in whatever way you want. The other component to this assignment is, this is the part that will allow you to share the information with everybody else in the class, is that you're required to create a mind map that summarizes your disease information. I'll show you an example of that, of all of this in a minute, but basically this will be a mind map that you can create using any mind mapping tool that's out there. There's lots of free ones on the internet, and then you'll be able to share it by sharing the link, or if it's downloadable, you can download the document to share it. But either way, you'll be posting your mind map for the whole class so that everybody's able to explore the, I guess, the summaries of these diseases and how they are connected to nutrition. So as you can see on the instructions, I've included a few links to different mind mapping websites, but you can also use any Word document or PowerPoint that allows you to use shapes and lines to create a mind map, whatever is easiest for you. So that mind map makes up 5% of the assignment. The actual disease research makes up most of it, of course. So the 12% goes to the fact that the disease research is thorough and answers all the guiding questions and demonstrates good application of the relevant nutrition concepts. Okay, so that basically shows that you've identified the links between nutrition and this disease. And then, of course, a small 3% towards the professional presentation, just, you know, logical, coherent, format is good, and that there's no writing errors. So that's the rubric. That's how the marking scheme will be broken down. Now, I just wanted to show you a couple of examples that will maybe help enlighten you to what you'll be doing. So I chose hypertension as actually, you know what? Before I do that example, I want to show you the sign-up sheet first, before I forget. So it's a Google Doc, and everybody's able to access this. It's just a link that I've provided to you, and everybody that can access the link can actually edit this document. So it basically looks like an Excel worksheet, but it's a Google Doc worksheet. So as you go into it, you'll see the list of diseases along the left. So I think currently there are about 17 there. And just for example, some of them, like cancer, for example, it's very general. There's lots of different types of cancer. So if you do sign up for cancer, please specify specifically which type of cancer you're doing, and that'll just help it become more clear. But as you can see, there's still only 3 spots available to do the topic of cancer. The same goes for eating disorders. There's a couple different types of that. Hypertension, the main one that if you choose hypertension that you'd like that really would fit for this assignment would be essential hypertension. But if you decide to do secondary hypertension and you think you can find a way to make that work for nutrition, that's acceptable. Just make sure you clarify that. Okay, and again, yeah, so there's a list of diseases, and then there's 3 spots. So as you go in, you can double click and type your name in, first and last name, please, just so I can identify who you are. And the other note that I make here is that if there's a disease that you know will work for this assignment, you've researched it a little bit already and know that it works, please contact me. Definitely, like, just let me know. And you're welcome to just click and add that new disease onto this list. If you can keep it in alphabetical order, that would be helpful. So just to do that, if you wanted to stick it in between 2, you would click on one of the boxes, and then you would go insert in the top, and either add a row above or a row below, depending on where it needs to go, to keep it in alphabetical order. So that's the sign-up sheet, okay? Hopefully that's clear on what you're supposed to do there. Now for the example. So again, I'm going to pretend that I'm doing hypertension for this research assignment. So basically what I have here is, this is just a summary. This is not how my final product would be presented if I were doing hypertension, but this kind of outlines some of the key information that needs to be researched for your disease. So the first question is like answering an overview of answering what is this disease. So what is high blood pressure? It's pretty straightforward. It's in my summary notes here, it's the fact that you have a consistent reading of greater than 140/90 for your blood pressure reading, okay? And then these next few points explain in more detail what the numbers mean. And then I go on to talk about risks. So what are some risks of untreated high blood pressure? And then I get into the standard medical treatment of it. So this lists many of the medications that are prescribed to somebody with high blood pressure, which of course most of the time, you know, that's the primary focus of treatment for many chronic diseases. But you know, in a world that's getting more progressively focused on nutrition and lifestyle changes, that leads us into, you know, now that we know what the standard medical treatment are, is what is the dietary or lifestyle treatments that we have control over. So losing weight, specific diets, getting fat, physically active, reducing sodium and reducing alcohol intake, and so on. And then just a quick summary here on what is the best treatment. So again, this is just a nice summary of that answers some of the guiding questions that you'll need to answer for your disease research. It doesn't go into as much detail with the nutrition on this example of a summary, but in that sense, I would probably expand on what this DASH diet is. So the DASH is the dietary approach to stopping hypertension. So it encourages eating fruits and vegetables, whole grains, which supply calcium, magnesium, potassium, fiber, and vitamin C that can help reduce blood pressure. So that's a little bit more detail on the nutrition and the nutrients, but this is the part that I really want you to emphasize in your research and in your presentation of your assignment. So this would be my starting research notes for my assignment. And then once I put it together and had my final product done, then I would go to my mind map, or you may choose to use the mind map to help you get organized in the earlier stages of getting your assignment ready, which is fine too. But either way, you need to end up with a final product mind map that can be shared with the class. So I used this website. This is one of the free ones that I listed for you in the instructions. And I was able to take all the information from that summary sheet and put it into a flow chart here. So I've zoomed in really close to show you that the center term is hypertension. But as you zoom out, you can see that I've now broken it down into standard treatments, the roles of nutrition, dietary lifestyle treatments, pathophysiology, and signs and symptoms. And then I've branched off each of those topics with some of the finer details. So in the end, I get this huge but very informative mind map. And this part over here is all focused on the nutrition. That can be shared with the class, and now we will each have access to information on these chronic degenerative diseases. Okay, so I think I've covered everything and given you some good examples of the work that you should be working on now. If you have any questions though, please do not hesitate to email me. And just a reminder, the due date of this assignment is Sunday, March 29th. So that's just less than 2 weeks from now. So I would definitely get started on this as soon as you can. It's worth 20% of your final grade. It's one of the last assignments. There's only 2 more after this, I believe, or one more major assignment after this, and then that's it. So you'll want to put probably as much effort into this as you can. So get started on that. Make sure you go to the online sign-up list and sign up for the disease that you want to do as soon as possible. And that's all, I guess, guys. Good luck on that. And again, ask me if you have any questions at all.